All right, we're live.
We
Who
are
all
live.
we have in here today? Looks like Barrow's Garage. Red-Eyed Patriot was here. May come back. Travis's Mopar Garage is in the house. Dust Devil Garage running early. That's commendable.
There's zero.
Like clockwork. JB's Little Shop. Glad you could make it. At Zero is here. All right, got quite a crowd here tonight. Wow, 23 watching. We haven't even started yet. That's pretty cool. Street Fox 347's here. The party can now start. Street Fox, he's like the official starter.
Well, if you've ever heard of Choppy Small Block Ford, that starts just about any party.
That's right. That's right. Torque Racing Productions, yes. Good to see you here. Thanks for coming out. We appreciate you. All right. Yes, Dust Devil, we are indeed live. All right. Well, we have a handful of people watching, but something I thought I would do, because now that we've had about a month here, tonight's we're gonna hey, Jim Bennett's Hot Rods is hanging out here.
Whoa, they've been kind of incognito.
Look at that.
Yeah, Jim Bennett's Hot Rod Garage has been laying low for a few weeks.
He's been doing body work. He's like been swinging the shrinking and stretching hammers, man. Paul Shea, Mostly Old Parts and Rust Patrick, Two Hacks Garage, aka Jive Hive Jeff. Rabbit Transit Jay is here.
You know, Two Hacks, Jive Hive Jeff lives probably only about 40 miles from where I'm from.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, my aunt's here, Aunt Nancy. Glad you're here. Mr. Will's Dying Breed Garage. NSB Custom Cars. By the way, Dallas, have you seen what NSB's planning on bringing to the No Name Nationals?
Oh, I did. That's the Dart, right? The Lincoln Dart.
Oh, man, that car is so cool. That is just so cool. And you know what? I don't know what it runs, but it's got a chute on the back, so I bet it's not slow. All right. MM78, I think I saw. Yep. Bubba Ayers with his fake mod wrench. I give him credit for that fake mod wrench. It fools me sometimes. Ari's in the house. Glad you could make it. Ari just got his Slant 6 buttoned up. Don English is here. That's the Don English. The other Don English, who has 30 subscribers, impersonates him. But the shade of blue in the thumbnail is slightly different. This is the Don English. Dean Stevenson's here. Glad you could make it. Ron's Recreations, Pig Belly Racing, Old Man in the Shop Built Not Bought. Wow, everybody's rolling in.
Yeah.
Paul Shea. Cool. Robert Magny, is that right? Rob from Blanchard, Oklahoma. Well, that's cool. Big Mike's Hootie Barn is here. Wow, they're all Stephen Holtz. Check that out. I was paying attention to get your name right. LP94. Wow, they just keep rolling in. Yeah, so we're like at 8:04. We'll get the party started, and people can Schaeferville, is that it? Happy Friday. I'm friends with JB. Well, cool. You can be friends with all of us. Yes, Stephen. I care about such things. We have a Don English is here. Yes, exactly. The only guy with no content and a bunch of subs. He's popular. What can I say? Dust Devil, 21 subs to go. List of all-stars. Yes, indeed. You know what? Speaking of 21 subs to go for Rabbit Transit Garage, we will start with what I want to do here. So we'll get a little bit of housekeeping out of the way first. Couple things. Dallas, always jump in, anything needed here. But I got some notes that I had from the last live. One of them is spectators are certainly welcome. I've had a handful of people actually ask, can spectators come to this? The answer is yes. We want spectators to come.
Yeah. Highly encouraged.
Yes, you can come until the fire marshal says you can't. Okay. Spectator tickets, if you buy them online, they're $15 a day. They're $20 a day at the gate. but we're going to have to cut off online sales a little bit before, because we're going to have to provide the gate with a list so that we don't have any tickets theft going on, right? So buy your tickets online, save some money, or 20 at the gate. If you can't, that's cool too. Another question that we just want to make sure people are clear on. If you register as a participant and your car doesn't make it, you can still come, because the participant registration covers a vehicle and one human handler for that vehicle. So if the vehicle doesn't make it, the human handler may still come. Yeah, kind of an expensive spectator ticket, but you know what? Things happen. Believe me, we still have to cover the expenses just the same.
Yeah, nobody's going to worry about like if we made it or not.
Now, I have a question for Dallas that I don't know the answer to about passengers in cars, ride-alongs on the track at the No Name Nationals.
Yeah.
We get this question a lot.
Okay.
What do we need to know about people riding on the track?
Okay. Generally, it's something that's kind of frowned upon.
Right.
But if the car is something that's not batshit crazy, requiring a roll bar and cage and fire suppression system and all that stuff, bring your helmet, make sure you got pants on and shoes on, and you'll be treated just like the driver.
Yep.
You got to have your basic safety equipment to go down the track.
That's my thought, is that passengers would be okay as long as they conform to the same safety standards as a driver.
Yeah.
So that's
just as long as it's not some hairy, crazy car where we're putting
right.
two people in harm's way, right?
Well, yeah, and the other thing too is a lot of cars that are really crazy fast, you know, like these 4 and 5 second cars, they'll have nitrous bottles and they'll have stuff over here in the passenger side, and can't have people like straddling that or that kind of thing.
You need to have a seat and a seat belt and a properly secured seat.
Right. But if we get that question, so I thought we might want to address it early. So if you guys are planning on something like that, you got to have your bases covered. Now, also invite your favorite channels to come to this as participants. For example, let's say that you enjoy, well, Uncle Tony's Garage has already publicly declared and made a video, right? But if he hadn't, and you guys said, Tony, I want to see you participate in the No Name Nationals, you guys, the viewers, have the pull to do that. So if you want to see Dylan McCool, Derek from Vice Script, Junkyard Diggs, any of these channels that are larger channels, go in the comments and say, hey, what are you bringing to the No Name Nationals?
Go rattle some sabers.
Yeah, that's what gets attention. I mean, yeah, Dallas and I are happy to send them a flyer, take their questions and that kind of thing, but it's you guys that have the pull. You're the viewers. You're the ones that they want to hear it from.
Before we get too far, John, today's 223 days until you got to be on the track.
Yep. 223 days. 223. The clock and the calendar wait for no one. All right. One thing I've got here is I want to give a shout out to 26 channels. Okay. These are No Name 500 contenders. These are folks trying to get their 500 subscribers who have announced for this event and they've registered. Okay. So if you're not on this list, something of that is missing. And I'm going to go through the list. Okay. And what I'm going to say is I'm encouraging you to go check these channels out. If you go there, you like what you see, subscribe to them. They have to earn the sub, but I'm encouraging you to go check them out. So I'm saying go check them out. And if they can earn your sub from there, that's awesome. That's the way it should work, right? Rabid Transit Garage, Jay and Jason. They're sitting on, last I looked, these figures are as of yesterday, 476 subscribers. Okay. Build a couple of Mopars, great guys. Check them out. They were the first people to register for this event. In fact, they were registered before the announcement live was over. This list is in no particular order, by the way. Okay. This is just how it popped out. So this is not in any order. Wild Rose Garage. Okay. Our friend from Canada, he has 384. His name's Nolan. He's building a he's building a little bathtub-sized Studebaker with a 455 Olds. Go check it out and check out Wild Rose Garage. And by the way, this list was just too long to try to stick in the comments. If you want to find these guys, go to your YouTube search bar and put in hashtag No Name Nationals. And if you scroll through there, you'll find every one of these guys. Okay. Jerry Racing, Rick and Ricky. They have a cool Duster. It's a green Duster, small block. They're this close to getting the wheels hung in the air on the launch. Car's quick. Super nice guys. They're at 282 subscribers. Check them out when you get a chance. Now, one guy we haven't heard anything from since right after the announcement, whose name's Mark, Mopar Maniac Garage. He's got some cool hardware there. He's got a really rusty charger there, and he's got a big block and some cool stuff. He gets it together. He's going to have a fantastic entry, but we haven't heard from him for a while. So go over to Mopar Maniac Garage channel and rattle Mark's cage a little bit. Tell him we miss him. We want to see him. He's got 42 subs, so he's got a little bit more of a hill to climb, but he can definitely do it. B-Dubs Garage, 64 subs. This guy's putting a firewall in a Duster. When I say putting a firewall in, I'm not like talking 10 snips and a piece out of the side of a refrigerator. No, this guy is actually fitting a new firewall into a Duster. I mean, that's scary, but he's doing it. Check that out. Frankenstein C20. Now, Frankenstein C20, he's building from nothing, but he's up to 73 subs. He's got a cool Chevy truck. He's got the front clip off, building the engine. Really nice looking stuff. Got a van. But the thing that he did that I thought was pretty hilarious. What was it he had to put on his van? I think it was an alternator, and he just grabs a Sawzall and just butchers the fan shroud right out of it to change the alternator, and JB welds it back in. I'm like,
I watched that one.
Imagine that guy working on a race car. It'd be cool stuff.
Yeah, and if you guys didn't know, John and I pretty much watch all these videos you guys do.
I'm telling you, we watch your stuff, so just check it out. Cultured Redneck Garage. He's got a 72 satellite yellow, cool stuff. He's been a little quiet lately, got 103 subs. He's a guy who can definitely do it. We just want to see him do it. So go check out his channel, Cultured Redneck Garage. Okay, Travis's Mopar Garage. He's got fast trucks. Travis is legit. Travis's Mopar Garage. He's got 365 subs. Go check him out. Some of these channels we're really enjoying following too, by the way. We just think it's cool. And then there's people in the comments like that Unity Motorsports Garage who has his subs. He could sit there in his lawn chair with his hands up, but these guys are coming for you, Andy. All right. LB Bruin 79. Vince. Got a 66 Newport. Vince he's an interesting guy. Highly intelligent. I'm kind of curious what all he's going to do to work on his sub count. He's got 30 subs, but check him out. Beautiful car, but I think you'll go for the car, but I think you'll stick around for him. So go check out LB Bruin 79. You'll see him floating in the comments, and of course, he's got a tag video, obviously, to be on this list. All right, the Dodge Whisperer. Dodge Whisperer is building the Barracuda. He and his buddy Duddy, they are match racing the Bad Tree guys.
This is
great
Barracudas, right?
What's that?
This is two Barracudas heads up.
Yeah.
Two Barracudas shooting.
Oh yeah. They're match racing with the Bad Tree guys. It's so much fun. The Bad Tree guys have their subs. Duddy has his. However, the Dodge Whisperer is still a little short. He's got 436. But go check out his channel and see what you think. Mostly Old Parts and Rust. Patrick. That is I believe he said that Duster he's bringing to the No Name Nationals. I believe it belonged to Dick Landy. It's got a turbo. It's cool. He's got a barn full of stuff. It's cool. But this car,
I was kind of expecting when he was doing the walk around, because it showed all the cars in like the yard. And then
Yes.
he's like, "This is what I'm bringing," and he pulls down the
Right.
big door, and it's like this freaking all-out race car turbocharged Duster. Like, holy crap! That's
It was
totally
wild.
different
So
than
he's in
what I
this
was.
barn. He's in this barn with all of this other stuff just to drool over. And then he turns into an enclosed race trailer and goes and like, wow, what a we didn't see that coming. A channel called My Next Project. He's another guy from Canada who doesn't have his subs. He has got 96 and working on it. Yet that guy's got a work ethic. We're going to see him there. 96 subs. I don't think 404 subs are going to be anything for this guy. He's got a really cool car. So My Next Project. All right, check him out. Another one who just got on my radar real recently, but I really like this guy and his stuff. Heavens Mopars. All right. He's got all kinds of stuff there on his property, but he's building a Duster shell. He's got 68 subscribers. He just called out Dust Devil Garage, and I think that's a neat call out because they're both Duster shells that need everything. So they literally are going to be building these Dusters from a shell, and I think that's pretty cool. It's a cool call out. So we'll see how they, how they fare over time, right? Conrad K65. He's bringing a Dodge truck and a monkey bike. So he's got 85 subs, and check it out. See what you think. He's got good stuff going on over there. Stephen Holtz. Now, this guy's got 82 subs. Good presenter, good channel. He can do it. But he's got options on what car he wants to bring. I know he's got a Dart. I know he's got a Mustang. Go over there and see what you think and give him your thoughts. It's going to be pretty cool. By the way, stuff with Cletus, those kind of questions, ask them again after we get through this list, and we'll do open question and answer here at the end. All right. Big Richard's World. This is Richard is a neat guy. He's one of these guys that I don't know how he hasn't had a big channel already. He is really cool. He's got a car called Betty White. It's I think Betty White's is like an Aspen or Volare station wagon, and it's white, and he wants to stuff a 440 in this. And he's got all kinds of cool cars there in his shop. So Big Richard's World only has 56 subscribers, and he's got all kinds of cool content going on. Two Hacks Garage, Jive Hive Jeff, Heavy T-Bird. I think it's like a 68.9 T-Bird. Built a 521 stroker. Thing about Two Hacks, I love this. His first video, he had his comments disabled. He had his notifications disabled. He shoots a video of the car. It's about 9 seconds long. When I watched that video, I thought, I don't know how this guy's going to make it. That was my first impression. But then he fixed that stuff, got in front of the camera. Turns out he's a fantastic presenter. I mean, he's really good. And it's great stuff. And I'm like, yeah, now, and he surged up to 310 like that. So
yeah, well, and they got the most cool name for that T-Bird, Larry T-Bird, right?
T-Bird.
And then he says, "Oh, by the way, I'm going to bring this super cherry CL175 Honda dirt bar, that's Honda motorcycle that they just refurbished, and it looks like perfect, like period perfect."
Yeah, I mean, you know what? There's a lot of really great channels. This list I'm giving you might be the best list. The channels are the list of best channels you've never heard of. I mean, seriously, these are some great channels that we just haven't heard of. Mopar Man 1978. He finally registered. He's in southern Missouri. Who would have ever thought that it would have been like, I don't know, but he did. And he's got like, I think an 82, 83 D150 and planning on bringing that. He's got 385 subscribers. So go over there.
Got a few left to go.
Go check it out. And we'd like to see it happen. So Ron's Recreations, bringing a Dodge truck. He's got 163 subs. Ron's Recreations. For you guys who have not seen Ron's Recreations, I get a kick out of his channel because I can tell he's really smart, but he presents so that you can't quite tell if he's trolling you or if he's serious. And I think it's both. And I love it. He takes this pristine Dodge cab that had no rust and just sawzalls it into oblivion, right? And then he takes the cab mounts in to put them on something else. And he then takes what's left of the floor that he destroyed and says, "Hey, Duddy, you could have used this if I hadn't destroyed it." I mean, it really entertains me because it's like you can't tell if he's trolling or not, but I think he is, but I like it. He's pretty cool.
If he's not, he's
163
doing a
subs.
dang
Check
good
it
job presenting it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's fun to watch him do his thing. Bear Rose Garage. Bear Rose Garage, one of the first people. I think Bear Rose Garage may have been the first person after Dallas and I to put out a video. He has 312 subscribers, and he has built that channel from nothing. He had, I don't know, how many did you have?
I think when we started, or something like that, 2 or 12. It was really low.
Oh
Whatever.
yeah. He had just a handful of subs, but man, has he come on strong? Worked out in the cold, made it happen. He's at 312. I really enjoy his. You know what? I would be enjoying his channel long after the No Name Nationals. I'm really liking what he's doing. He got a great attitude, and I enjoy it. So check it out, see what you think. Tall Garage. Tall Garage. He's in here. Yep, there's Tall Garage. It's almost like it's kind of enigmatic the way he started. Enigmatic. He had this like these cartoons and graphics and stuff, and you can figure out what he's doing. But now I've seen him on a live, and so he's getting with the program. He's probably going to bring something forward. It looks like he's got 99 subscribers. So check out Tall Garage. RC Industry, 79 Chrysler 300. This was really funny. So RC Industry was he contacted me about registering. And by the way, all these people have made videos about this, so I'm not spoiling anybody's announcement. But RC Industry says, man, I don't quite have enough subs. I'm like, well, how many do you have? Well, I got 450 or 460. Like, you don't think you can get 40 subs or 50 subs in 8 months? And he's already up to 481. He's already gotten half the difference. So, but he's got a neat channel. Check out RC Industry. Now, there's one on here I'm not going to mention because he's registered. He's a No Name 500 guy, but he hasn't made an announcement video. So I won't say who that is, but we'll definitely catch him on another live if he puts out an announcement video. I don't want to spoil it for him if he has something he wants to do to announce. So I'll skip him for now. We got you. Now we have the infamous Dust Devil Garage. Dust Devil Garage Brian. Dust Devil runs lives on the weekend occasionally, these roundtable lives, and he's got 378 subscribers. He's building a duster from a shell. Okay, he's working on the sheet metal and stuff in the floor.
Literally was less than a shell, right? It was like
it's a shell.
It was the shell and the floor removed from the shell, so he's starting from less than negative. Right?
He has no doors or front clip or anything on this that I've seen, and I think the plan even evolves a little bit. I don't even know that the plan is completely set, but there's like one thing set in stone. He wants to run these gigantic steamroller slicks on the back. That's like the only thing we know for sure. But Dust Devil Garage, Brian over there, 378 subs. So, check him out. Okay. Big Mike's Hoopty Barn. There's another one of these warriors who goes out in the single digit weather and it's just, he's a warrior. He's been working on this 51 Coronet, and it's crazy. So check out Big Mike's Hoopty Barn. He's built this from nothing. He's got a 318. He's got a truck 4-speed in it. Swapped the rear end. Made the most creative drive shaft I've ever seen. I hope he runs drive shaft loop on it. What can I say? But we really are digging Big Mike's Hoopty Barn. That's a fun channel. Big Mike is something else. By the way, I'm going to have what's that?
He's what's fun about it. I mean, Mike
is like, he's great.
He's a straight up, like, I don't know, it'd be old school mechanic where you do just the stuff that it needs.
Yes.
Right? But he kind of makes light of that whole thing, right?
He's
like,
not scared of anything.
I'm going to knock in a couple freeze plugs in this motor. The other ones just seem to have disappeared.
Well, he's not scared of anything either. Like, he's not
right.
scared to tackle anything. I think that's cool. But I'm going to have both Big Mike of Big Mike's Hoopty Barn and Barrow's Garage are both going to be on my next live next week. So I'm going to have to start having some of you guys on live streams to talk about your channels. And lastly on my list is Thumper the Sweaty Fat Guy. How do I can't unsee that name, but he's probably going to bring a Pontiac, looks like. He's got a Tempest GTO looking concoction there. He's got 464 subs. Check him out, see what you think. So that is the list I have. Now, Wasted Talent Fabrications, no, I was not talking about you because you already have your subscribers. So there's a lot of you guys who already have more than 500. That's why we're just concentrating on these guys for this particular.
These are all the ones that are technically that we know of, or they've met all the wickets to be in the race for 500.
That's it. And they're all registered. I have another list of 22 of you that I didn't mention. I've got your channels, I got your names, I got your sub counts. They're all right here on the same list. You're just not registered yet. There's plenty of time. So at that point, we'll just keep working that way. But anyway, check those guys out. To find them, do a search, hashtag No Name Nationals, and they'll all come up there. All right, now let's get to some questions.
Well, there was one, I can't remember who was it.
We'll scroll back a little bit.
Somebody asked about bathrooms. There's actually, yes. If you look at Jeffers Motorsports Park, one, it's not some fly-by-night drag strip. It's actually probably the nicest 8th-mile track in Middle America, right?
It's a national event caliber track.
It has bathrooms that will be open 24 hours, 7 days a week. Essentially, as soon as we pull in the gates, those bathrooms will be open and they'll be cleaned every day while we're there. So you won't have a problem using the bathroom. Matter of fact, the bathroom's even air conditioned, and it's one of the only places on the property that it is, besides the bar.
So, by the way, Cletus says, Bubba's going to be there. He needs 500. Here's the thing. I haven't, Bubba may be on my list of people who needs the subs, but there's two things about it. One, he's not registered, which is okay. You can fix the registration in like 5 minutes, but Bubba's sub count is not public. He needs to turn his sub count on because that will help people help him. But Bubba's a cool guy. I'm really wanting to see him there.
Country Mile Garage is asking, so can we bring a camper or a tent? And you could bring both if you wanted.
Yeah. Jim Bennett is switching up his call outs a little bit, and I expect a lot of people will do that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it's for the what did he call it? El Lato Braque or something? El Latte Bronco, his 1-ton dually. Because I just blew up the converter in my Suburban the other day. So.
Yeah. Shop 209 brings up a good point. He's found a lot of good new channels through the No Name Nationals. Indeed. Oh. There's a lot of guys that, it's so cool to find these guys. They're so cool and cool stuff, and we wouldn't even known about them.
Well, I had no idea how much reach this thing had until channels started popping up I'd never even seen or heard of or nothing.
Indeed.
Okay, so let's see.
Dust Devil says we'll be learning a lot very soon. Awesome.
Shotcat Industries. Okay, I got a question. Wild Rose Garage. Can I run my Studebaker Lark with no hood? Just don't want to cut it all up. I don't see why that would be a problem.
Yeah, I don't know why that's a thing. Yeah, why not? So Shopcat says, can someone drop a link for RC Industry? The thing is any of these channels you want to find, go to YouTube and search hashtag No Name Nationals. If you search that, if you put that, I'll type it in. If you search hashtag No Name Nationals like that, you'll see all these channels will come up. Every one of them is there. Dean Stevenson says, "Y blocks rock." Yep, I agree with that. And he says, "Working on his junk, it never ends." Well, indeed. I'm trying to catch up on these. We'll get to real time here in just a little bit.
Yeah, well, they're going way faster than I can read.
Oh, yeah, they move pretty quick. But I'm scrolling through. I'm going to catch them here eventually.
Unfinished project is at 36 subs.
Unfinished project is at 36. That's great. That's great. Keep working on it. I'm going to tell you, unfinished project, I think you need to get in front of the camera. I know it's not your favorite thing, but I'll say this. If you want to, you could wear the old school, like, lucha wrestling mask, and that way you could still be anonymous and on camera. For real. I'm totally serious. Totally serious. That would be super cool. People would watch that and love it.
And if you're a Mopar man, you could get one like put the Mopar, like that shield that used to be on like the old Mopar. What was? Didn't they used to have a red and blue shield on the 60s? Dang it! When they used to show up at the track, the group that I can't remember the name of.
The Ram Chargers?
No, it was like Direct Connection, but it was before Direct Connection. They used to have like a
Hustle stuff,
performance group, huh?
Hustle stuff. That
was a red and blue shield.
I don't know.
Should get a luchador mask made up like that.
So Big Block 402 says, "Will there be a cutoff on registration if the numbers get huge?" Well, yeah, they'll have to be at some point, but we'll see. It all depends. Depends how quickly people register, how many. There will come a point where you can't, but we'll just see what happens.
We did put a maximum limit of participants.
Yeah,
and I want to say that was like 570 or something like that.
Here's the thing that I'm kind of seeing that I'm hoping you guys will avoid. I'm seeing more people hanging out who have declared they've made videos, they want to be there. Well, I got plenty of time to actually register. Problem is, what happens if you have a bum rush to actually get the registration administratively handled and you don't get in because 100 people try to do it on the same day at the last minute? That could happen. I'm kind of seeing this. I'm hoping that's not the way it happens, but that's what I'm seeing. It seems like for every 3 people that register, 5 people make an announcement video. So the pyramid is definitely getting bigger in the people who say, "Yeah, I'm going," and just assuming there will be space for them. Right now, there is. That can change as the year goes on. So think about that. All right. Tall John's Fun Shop has a question. How far back is the water box from the starting line?
Feet, like 60 to 100 feet. This track is a little bit different because it's one that, okay, so in the world of drag racing, most people are familiar with the water box you have to pull through. In Jeffers, it's one of the older ones where you have to back up into it. You have to back up into the water box, which works out really good for the people with like drag radials, street tires. You don't want all that water up there on the track because the treads in your tires will suck that water up. When you do a burnout and stop, that water will drain back out onto the underneath your tires. So it's a good thing that you have to choose to back up into it.
All right, all of us fellow creators will make sure. Well, here's the thing: support each other. Check out your stuff. Unfinished project, we are pulling for you. Tell you what, I really want to meet you. You're such a cool guy. We want to meet you. You need to get on camera with your stuff. I love the witty videos you make. They entertain me thoroughly. But get on camera with your stuff. You're skilled. You got good stuff to say and do. If you want to stay anonymous, do the mask thing. That'd be so cool. If you want to. But I got ideas I think may be able to help you. I'll do anything I can to help you, man. Zero has what I think is a pretty decent idea. We're going to make a recon trip out there in the spring to work on some of these things.
Well, there is portable restrooms out there as well, but you have the main fixed restrooms, and I think there's like 4 stalls in each one.
Yeah.
So.
Is there a list of requirements to go through tech?
Oh, actually, that's on my notes for tonight.
All right.
If you guys, if you dig around a little bit, there's a video that Just Mopar Joe did that was basic safety. Okay.
Great video.
And it covers 95% of everything that you're going to see. And he actually covers it all the way from cars running like probably down in the sixes all the way up to, 11th, second, 8th mile.
Right.
But the basic things that I went through and I picked out some things that he didn't cover because most of the time people kind of understood it as the things you have to have. And that's because the racer that goes to the track every weekend, these are like a no-brainer, right? But if you haven't been, and I had to think back to my way before my being in the Navy and a lot of alcohol and overseas and remember what it was like for me to be 16 years old again, and what was the things that they nail me on in tech every time, right? So lug nuts. If you got 5 lugs on each wheel, you should have 5 lug nuts on each wheel, right? Does that make sense? A 4-lug car, it should have 4 lug nuts on each wheel. They want to make sure you have lug nuts on all wheels, right? Fuel line. Okay. There's kind of a misnomer on how fuel line is supposed to work. But the rule of thumb is this. You don't want a piece of rubber fuel line greater than 6 inches, okay? And the reason for that in reality is it can rub through. And it would suck that it rubbed through as you're flooring it going down the track. Then you get squirrely and get into the wall. Yeah. I know it's irony at its finest, but to minimize that, they don't want you to have any sections of rubber fuel line greater than 6 inches and no more than 12 where it's combined, right? So if you had like 3 sections of 4 or 2 sections of 6, 12 sections of 1, they don't want you to have no more than 12 cumulative. Okay.
Transmissional, fuel line, all of it. It's a good idea to minimize all the rubber on your car that you can for that reason.
Exactly.
I mean, seriously.
What I notice here is in the comments, everybody's flying through all the basic tech stuff and stealing my thunder. But and some of them are 100% right. So seatbelt, you got to have some sort of seatbelt, right? Now, if you got like a 1962 Lancer, of course, it's probably only going to have a lap belt. They didn't make a shoulder harness back then, but your lap belt is what was required from the factory, and a lap belt is what we accept. You don't have to have a shoulder harness as long as it doesn't run faster than like 1170s or in the quarter, or it'd be like 780s in the 8th. Yeah. No one's going to really kind of get in your junk about it, right?
Yeah.
All right. Battery hold downs. Battery hold down is like a mandatory, and I'll give you a for instance why. So just a FYI, most of the rules in drag racing, unfortunately, are written in blood. That means somebody's done something that has caused this to become a rule because they either got hurt or killed doing it. But a battery hold down, let's say you do get a little bit squirrely and you end up putting the thing in the wall. No big deal. You didn't even get hurt, but you get out of the car and you burst into flames because the battery's dead shorted to the hood, right?
I like that.
That sucks. That sucks. So the battery hold down actually fixes that. All right. So if you have a battery in the trunk, you need to have a disconnect switch, and it has to kill the car. So the tech inspector will start the car up. If you have a battery in the trunk and you have a disconnect switch on there, he's going to have you start the car up and shut that switch off and verify it kills the car. Okay. And the whole point is that same as the guy that didn't have the battery hold down. If you get squirrely, you crash the car, the first thing they're going to do when they run up to your car is turn that switch off. So if the electric fuel pump is running, it's no longer running. If they
Cletus,
get still on,
no.
it's off.
Cletus, the answer is no. Okay, anyway, we keep going.
All right. Okay, if you have your battery in the trunk, it has to be in a sealed box if it doesn't have a retaining firewall behind it. Okay, so that means if you don't have a firewall behind your back seat or a piece of sheet metal that's at least like what 24 thousandths, I think is the number, then it has to be vented outside the car in a sealed battery box.
If your battery's still under the hood, of course, your factory firewall counts.
You're fine. You're 100% fine.
We're really talking about guys that haven't relocated to the trunk and don't have a partition where the back seat was. If you need to have a firewall, you need to have a firewall in the back if you've moved the battery back there.
All right, back to basic, simple things that you'd need, no matter really what kind of car you have, right? Shoes, closed-toed shoes. I'm sorry, I'm not going to go out there and sweep up each particle of your toe as it gets sawed off going down the track.
Right.
We're not going to do that, and we don't want it to happen. So we ask that you wear closed-toed shoes.
Real shoes.
Right. The other thing is generally pants. And sometimes it's hot. That's why we chose the later part of the year. It's not as hot. It's actually more comfortable to be in the cars. And if you're waiting in the staging lanes, you're not melting down. But we ask that you have pants on. If your car if you get anything faster than like 750 in the 8th, you're going to start looking at having a jacket on, a fireproof jacket. Okay. Well, actually not fireproof. It's fire resistant. Okay, and that means that the jacket is actually a real thin one at that point, and that's so that you, in all intents and purposes, is to keep you from a flash fire from burning you half to death, right?
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily required for just anybody showing up at the track. But shoes we prefer that you had pants. If you're camping out there, just bring some along and just put them on when you go race. Take them off when you get back. Put your flip-flops back on. But that's more or less the basic. No poodle skirts, Bear Rose Garage. No poodle skirts, okay?
Most of the old parts and rust has a question here. I think it's a good one. It's worth asking. A lot of people are asking questions like this.
My car will be in the 10s, sub 7 second, 8th mile. I have a passenger seat and 4-point passenger harness. So if they wear a fire jacket, helmet, and pants, they can ride along. I would say yes, but I think just about anything faster than that, anything faster than like probably when you start getting down to where it'd be your 9-second zone in the quarter mile, which would be like your 6:40s. That's where it's probably a no bueno. You don't really want to be having a passenger in there. You're more focused on just driving the car.
All right. Let's scroll down so we can catch up. My highest view counts from Y blocks, but I don't have time to have one done for the No Name Nationals. This brings up a good point. When you guys do your projects and size them up, try to pick a goal that you know you can meet, like a goal you know you can meet by, say, June or July. And then if you have more time and money, you could maybe make it a little better and keep improving toward the No Name Nationals. You don't want to set a goal that's going to take every bit of time and budget from now to September to meet. Because if you miss it by 3% or 4%, guess what? You missed the event. You don't want to do that. So Barrow's Garage, I'm sure, because he's building this smart, he'll have something ready to go for the No Name Nationals. And then if he can do something else and do something on top of that to improve, he can. But that's a good point. ACC Garage says, I think I messed up on my choice of registration. It's not a problem. The only reason I have the drop-down menu is so that I'll know what people want to do. And so I've now learned it's all about the race.
Once you're registered, you're registered. It doesn't matter really what
you can do whatever. You can do whatever, okay? But I just kind of wanted to know how many people want to show versus how many people want to race, and it's overwhelmingly race, but that's why it's in there. Once you're registered, you can do whatever you want. A broken race car becomes a show car by default. Mopar Maniac says Socks and Martin. If you can get the ghost of Ronnie Socks to come out, we'd love to have him.
Shop 209 says, I have 7 Novas, so I'll probably be bringing a Nova.
I got to meet Ronnie Socks once, and quite an experience. I wish he was still around. If he was still around, we definitely invite him to this. He and Bob Reed, I miss them both. Dust Devil's saying, I didn't want to get in front of the camera until I realized more people see me on my drive to work and back than watch me on YouTube. Okay. However you want to look at it.
You know what's funny is I've been doing the lives with Tony long enough, and like a couple of videos with Tony that I go to places here in Middle Tennessee now. I went to a swap meet last weekend, and the guys like there was people like coming out of the wood. Hey, you're Dallas, right? I'm like, yeah. How do you know? And they're like, oh yeah, watch Uncle Tony's Garage. Like, oh okay, but I had no idea it was going to be like that.
Hoopty Mike, glad you could come in. And again, a reminder, I'm going to have both Barrow's Garage and Big Mike's Hoopty Barn on this channel next week for the regular live. So Dallas and I do every other week, but they're going to be on the regular live next week. So check them out.
Yeah,
All right. I'll get with you. We'll talk about it. Anything I can do to help, I'm glad to do it.
Well, and you know, I was actually just going to say something, and I lost my train of thought when another one popped up.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So John and I do this like every other week to kind of give you guys a standing of where we stand at, how people are doing. You know, not necessarily just your race to 500, but more or less, have we got things ourselves ironed out? Who we're bringing on? Who
we got big stuff in the works.
We do. We always have. The way I'd like to put it is like, is there anybody on here with a screen name Too Many Projects? That's how John and I are working this. We got irons in the fire until you can't see the horizon with irons sticking out of it. So
we have some really cool stuff in the works. But here's the thing: we're going to release stuff to you as we get it done. Okay. We have a great vision for this event, and so far, everything we've needed to do, we have made happen. Okay. So there's nothing getting in the way of us doing everything we want to do. So as we have things worked out and announce them, you guys will hear about them right here on these lives. But I'm telling you, we got some cool stuff in the works. Cool stuff in the works. All right, Mopar Maniac Garage. He said he hadn't been uploading lazy, been busy. Understand. Hey, we understand, but you got 223 days, and I'm really hoping to see some more cool stuff because you're a cool guy. You got cool stuff sitting around there, and I hope to see you at the event. All right. JB's Little Shop says he's signing up Monday. Well, cool. I look forward to it.
Yeah, well, you'll be on next video's list.
Did you happen to mention how many are registered yet? We've got a lot of channels signed up. Several dozen channels are registered. That number changes all the like. I bet you right now that number is more because I haven't checked my email from people who said they were tonight. But we've got as many haven't registered who've announced. So we got plenty. We'll give a number later on. Bunch of bunch. Well, I'll tell you what, there has not been a single day so far since we've announced, not a single day that I haven't gotten 1 or 2 or 3 registrations. How's that? Not a single day. Yeah, this is cool. Yeah, I think they are. And guess what? That may bite them. So here's the gamble, guys. You're taking a gamble if you register before you have 500 subs. But guess what you're also doing? You're also taking a gamble to wait till you have 500 to register because we may have to cut the registration off. So what I would say is if you want people to have faith in your project that you're working on, show them that you have faith in your own project by registering. That's what I would say.
Well, and also if you're just starting right now, don't think we're going to leave you hanging. If you haven't haven't been paying attention to what's happening here, a lot of these channels that we just called out today started less than 100 subs.
Yeah.
And now some of them are cresting 500 already, and it's been 1 month.
That's right.
Full month.
That's right. You know what else? Nobody knew this, no advance notice. Dallas knew, but we just shouted out 25 channels because they've both registered and announced before they had the subs. So you know what? They went out on a limb to take a chance on themselves. We want to reward that. So that's who we're looking to say these are the guys that are the most serious. But I'll tell you what, we got a lot of great channels that are fighting for this, and we love it. This is really adding something great to this event. I just love it. I love it. Wild Rose Garage just bought a winch for his trailer. He blows it up. Well, yeah, that's better than getting a bunch of us to push the car back on there. Heavens Mopar, see, he has the other philosophy. He registered because he wants to secure his spot.
If he doesn't make it, stand out front and sell your ticket.
And with that guy's ethic, I think he'll get it. Andy prefers backing into the water box because he just likes to have more time to exploit his magnificence before his run.
He just likes to make sure he has all gears that work in his transmission.
That's right. He doesn't have 5 neutrals. Yes, it is. I see. I think it's better than dragging water to the. So I like it if you have either a whole lot of room, between water and that, or you backing in, because people dragging water on the line is just not cool.
Oh, are you behind, or am I?
I'm a little behind. I'm catching up through these because we had to do some shout outs and it took 20 some minutes. So I'm going to scan through here.
Well, I'm a few minutes behind.
That's okay. I'm gonna scoot up and get through this chat.
Mike Iben is asking, what other AHRA events are there in 2022? Well, Mike, I've been kind of keeping them under wraps somewhat. I just released the schedule the other day on the AHRA Facebook page, but we have 2 other large events, but we virtually have one every weekend almost, starting from March until October, which would just be like basic, what we call our performance-based payout brackets. It's a little bit different take on bracket racing than probably what you're used to or accustomed to. But and then we have the big one up in Iowa is the shootout at sundown, which is a heads up best of 3 kind of deal. And then we have one in KD Dragway, what we're doing, that's the inliner showdown, right? So it's all inlines, which is like, it's actually a variation of last year's slanted nationals. It's just we realized that the slant crowd wasn't big enough to carry their own event, but what we wanted to do was keep the ambiance of that event because everybody had a blast. It was a great time. So we just opened it up to all inliners.
Mostly old parts and rust. I just went through that list. However, if you want to find it, because it's gotten so big, it's not even feasible anymore. Do a search, #No Name Nationals on YouTube, and you will get a list of it's over 500 and some videos, close to 90 channels, but that's where to get that list. You'll get every one of them there.
Oh, well, and here's what's funny. All right, guys. So if you haven't done a search on that hashtag in YouTube, there's over 90 channels and 500 videos hashtagging No Name Nationals. And what we found is there's people that's hashtagging No Name Nationals that have no intention of coming, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to that. Well, then stop hashtagging it.
They're just doing it to get the views.
Right.
All right. Bubba's at 344. Stay home. Nah, you can do it, man. You need 156. Tell it. You know what? He's cool, got a good personality, works on cool stuff. He'll get it. If he wants it, he'll get it. No problem. Andy says, I feel if you go register now, and that'll motivate you to make the. Yes, it will. I agree with Andy. I think that's smart. Tall Garage started with 11, and now we're at 99. Well, let me tell you something. Speaking of this, and Andy's too humble to tell you this, but I think in August of 2020, Andy had about 400 and some subs. He's got like 15,000 now. All right, so yeah, you put your nose to the grindstone, you'd be amazed what you can do. Tall Garage started with 11, and now he's got 99. Well, exactly. Yeah, and most of the old parts and rust, he registered with less than 20, and now he has over 100 new subs in 30. That's what we're talking about, guys. You're too worried about the sub count. You put the work in, build the car, make the videos, the subs will come. And you know what else? Along the way, Dallas and I are finding these people that's like we just may want to collaborate with or do things with. That's really going to help too, but We're not looking to people who say, well, I'm going to wait until they want to do something with me and then do it. No, we're going to find people who are already doing it to do something with.
Yeah, they're committed.
Big Block 402. Yep.
There's a simple rule of thumb, kind of, if you want to do okay on YouTube. I mean, I bet in 3 months, anybody here can have over 500 subs. Follow these simple rules.
Yep.
Make a video every day if you can. Keep it less than 10 minutes, right? If it's a big topic that you're trying to tackle, I'm rebuilding an entire rear end. You're never going to edit it well enough to fit in 10 minutes. You're going to leave something out, right? Break it up into little sections. Hey, we're going to tear down this rear end, and I'm going to show you how to do it in 5 days. So that's how you need to approach it. And what you need to do is, if you're going to tear down that rear end and you're going to do it in 1 day, no problem. Film the entire thing and then bankroll that 5 days worth and go edit it up. And then put yourself ahead. Then that will give you a little bit of time to think about the next piece of content that you want to do.
That's exactly right. If you film 30 minutes, make 3 10-minute videos. You know, make one that's disassembly, make another that's, you know, checking your bearings and backlash and all that stuff. Make another that's reassembly, make another that's painting and putting it in the car. Thank you, Cletus. I sure appreciate that. Trying to help his boy Bub out. That's cool. Like that.
Duddy's Adventure says, FYI, the No Name Nationals made my channel explode. I'm already up to 1,500.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. Wasted Talent said, will a second car count to the total? Yes. The registration is per vehicle, and then that includes 1 human handler. Okay? He says it's weird not seeing my blue wrench. It is for me, too. I'm a mod on a lot of channels. Don, you do not. You have 3 subs. You are looking at the other Don English. I'm telling you. I'm one of your subs. You have 3. Let's see here. Yeah, check this out. Now, see, Travis, 197 subs in 28 days. But he is hammering on his content. He's getting it.
And I've been slacking. I haven't done anything. I've been working on the rule book, the schedule, ironing out details for this, chasing prospects. Ugh. This is like the worst time of year for me.
By the way, Dallas he has just done exactly what you guys are doing. Mr. Rotter's Neighborhood. When did you start Mr. Rotter's Neighborhood? November the 7th. Yeah, he started November 7th. And he cleared 500 subs a few weeks ago. And
I was sick. I was sick for the entire month of December. He did it exactly the way he's telling you, filming it, breaking it up in pieces, 1 sub at a time, and he got to 500. So he's telling you from experience, and he just did it himself. And don't be afraid to use a Louisville Slugger on a quater jet to get some subs cheaply. Yeah, get creative. You're a content creator. Be creative. So Brian is saying, Tall Garage, you got to be. You do what you want to see. Not a bad idea. Do you think that if this No Name Nationals is a success, that it may branch out? Well, we'll see. But here's what I'm going to tell you guys. If we don't get behind this one, there will not be another. So get behind this one, and then we'll worry about anything else. That's actually 100% why when we chose Jeffers this year was because it's so much more centrally located than the other options that we had, that it gave a lot more people the opportunity. I mean, yeah, you all might be driving, but it's not super lopsided, I guess is the way it is. Yeah. It's a long drive for everybody, but it's doable for everybody. JB said, I tried hard not to hashtag my live, but John said, go for it. Hey, JB, how many people do you usually have on a live, and how many did you have on that one? Yeah, Culture Rednecks. Yeah, Andy, let me tell you, Andy's smart. If Andy Wood from Unity Motorsports Garage gives you advice, you should take it. That goes for all of you.
And it's like that magical thing. People are like, how do we outsmart the algorithm, or like, a search engine optimization, and then you have somebody that works for the internet, tell you, like one of these big, expert gurus tells you to do something, you do it, right? Well, when Andy says do it, that's like a secret getting out. You want to do it.
Heavens Mopar is saying, I plan on exceeding 500 by September. And I'm looking at this guy, he's got 68 now, right? You can easily have 500 by, I don't know, March. I just start making a video a day. I mean, they'll start popping. And what you need is the Google crawler to grab hold of your content and start shoving it in front of everyone's face. And that happens when you do a video a day.
I'm not sure what he means, but I'm telling you, whenever that gets encrypted, it'll probably be profound. MM78 is saying, I guess people could troll the people in the comments that are abusing them. Well, you know what? Look, we all have, let me tell you, the bigger your channel gets, the more you'll have trolls. And when you get to 500 subscribers, you'll probably, odds are, have a troll by then. Just the way it is, right? But I don't really care. As long as, look, well, that's one thing. I just don't want people to put bad, just trash and hashtag it, so that when people are looking for this event online, they find videos that aren't about it, or they're profane.
Get rid of belly fat now. Hashtag No Name Nationals.
Yeah, we don't want that. But yeah, if it's about your build and your stuff and your progress, absolutely. Yeah, there's Duddies. I'm telling you what, that's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, Wild Rose started.
Take care, Wild Rose. Man, he's a hardworking guy. He's a guy, he's driving 30 hours each way, and he'll make it because he's got a great work ethic. Starting a channel less than a month ago, he has 100 subs. Is exciting. Well, let me tell you, it took me a lot longer than that to get to 100 subs.
Yeah, you'll be done. I'm telling you, you'll be done probably by, I don't know, I'd say if you started less than a month ago and you already have 100, I bet you will have 500 by April 15th.
Let me tell you, so this event is the event that I always wanted to be a participant in. I mean, this is that event, and it's kind of bittersweet. I mean, I'm really enjoying making it happen, but if this event had come along for me a few years ago when I was trying to get to 500 subs, man, there is not a concrete wall high enough that would have stopped me from getting 500 subs to make. I'm telling you that this is the kind of thing I would have just been both feet in, no looking back, made it happen.
Well, I'm looking at John Mounts says the greatest comment I've ever seen about trolls. It says trolls are great. They feed the algorithm, right? Okay. Because they come on there, they say something, they either give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down, but it means they had to watch the content. So it's 100% true.
Patrick asks a question here. Is there any possibility that spectator registration will be closed early? What's the limit? I'm not sure what the hard limit is, but I can tell you this. At some point, I have to close it before I get to the track so I can make a list and get to the gate. Because if you don't do that, you could have people doing things, and we're not going to say them here because we don't want to encourage people to do them, but we want to make sure that we prevent counterfeit tickets and that kind of thing. So I'm going to have a list of paid registrations to give the gate. And I can't do that the morning of the event. I have to cut it off. It'll be a little bit beforehand. Or when we sell out, whichever comes first.
Right. And we've talked about, this is the way John and I are working the spectator stuff. There is literally, if you sit down and you try to do the math, there's literally 2,700 seats available. Seats, right? That's not going to include the fence line or anything like that. That's seats available at the track. We had every intention of going to the point where the fire marshal says, not one more person.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the plan. If we don't see the fire marshal, I think we haven't accomplished what we've tried to do here.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to have a packed house. I really think, well, because if you think about it, if we all bring out a few people who watch our channels, I mean, we're gonna have a big crowd there.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. Dust Devil Garage says here I had to get to 500 to get in my own event, and me and John actually were hoping that I couldn't get to 500, that we were going to shoot a video of me panhandling outside the event trying to get subs so that I could go inside.
Well, you know what? Heavens Mopar says he plans on exceeding 500. He's going to. I mean, he had in one of his videos in the description that he was removing excuses to get it done. I just thought that was fantastic. With an attitude like that, he's going to do it.
Oh, well, Jim Bennett says they got 8,700 subs in 10 months.
Steven's on about 500 miles from home work at the moment. Okay, that's cool. Bear Rose has a call out for the 2025. You're hoping Nampa, Idaho, right? Well, Jay, you know what? Before you go for 1K, it's spiking the ball in the end zone. Why don't you get 500? You still need about 24, man.
Let's see. Levi's Backyard Performance. John or Dallas, how many participants have registered right now?
We have a list. We have a list, but here's the thing. I don't want people to judge because the list is by channel, and there's more than one car, and then we have a whole lot more who have made announcements. They just haven't paid and registered. So if I give you a number, it's going to be a distorted picture of how many are actually coming. And it's growing every day.
There is one channel bringing a bus and 3 cars.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, gosh.
Man, that sounds like something out of Roadhouse or something, like, you know. Yeah, Heavens Mopar sold a car for gas money. That is dedication.
That is dedication.
Agreed. That's why I'm saying.
And that was a good looking car too.
Yeah, it was. Man, that was cool. 66 Cornell, loved it.
I just
will we be surprised by any channels that will be there? I don't know. I can't tell you what surprises you. I mean, you know, some people could wake up with their head duct taped to a utility pole, will not be surprised, and then other people might be quite shocked. But what I can say is we have some huge channels coming, and then we have channels that will be just get over just the 500 and everything in between. Yes, Sandy, except unlike Woodstock, we're going to leave it cleaner than we found it. If I had a way to haul them. Well, you know what? What I would say is reach out. You never know. There might be somebody with one of those giant dealership-style car haulers that can help you out. Maybe a thing to do. This is neat. Big Block 402 is planning on calling out his brother and his Little Red Express. You know what? Tall John has a Little Red Express also. That could be interesting.
Isn't it Big Block 402? Isn't he one that was on the 500 subscribers or less?
Well, he's not registered yet.
Oh, he's not? Okay.
Not yet. Travis asked Pets. My dog's going to be there. Well, there you go. So you have to buy one of those if you want it to happen. So there you go.
Or you can just put a whole bunch of like tow dollies in a row.
You know, you can make an auction land train. These things you see going down the road. Excellent. Excellent. And I'm not giving you guys a hard time. I fully expect that you're going to register. But the reason I say that is because
once they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah, well, when they're gone, they're gone. And when we have bills to pay, we got to pay them. We can't pay them off of just sometime between now and September. So, Jethro. And yes, my dog is on my Christmas card. All right. So you guys have anything else? We've covered what we need to cover for this one. Well, Dallas, if you're good, we'll do another live in 2 more weeks.
I'm fine with that.
and we'll have more updates for you then. And but that's just what I decided to do with this live, was to shout out the guys who, they've got skin in the game. They've already registered, gambling on themselves to perform, and still need the subs. So check out their
Next
channels.
one.
And
Yeah.
so anyway, put your last questions in now, and then we'll wrap it up.
Next one of these, John. Let's have a list of everybody participating in the monkey bike category.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do a special for the monkey bikes. Yeah. Actually, what we could do is, I got an idea for the monkey bike. Yeah, we'll do something for the monkey bike. That's a good idea. Vince there has a good question.
Oh, what's that? Fire extinguishers. There's some at the track. I'm assuming maybe inside the car. Is that what he's asking?
I would recommend you guys have your own fire extinguisher.
I learned that a long time ago. I was at a track and a guy's car backfired and caught on fire, and there was literally no one around that had a fire extinguisher, and that thing just sat there and burned the carburetors clean off the car.
Yeah.
So, Shop 209 is asking nitrous and fuel available at the track. They do sell fuel at the track already. And I had already worked a plan for nitrous. So there will be nitrous filling stations at the track. We're trying to keep the price relatively reasonable, because I know how it can get expensive when you get to the track. Right now, everybody's looking at probably $6 to $8 a pound, depending on where you're at. And I could see if you went to, let's just say, some other sanctioning body's national event, it could be upwards of $12 to $14 a pound. And that's kind of price gouging you. And we didn't want to do that to you.
This is interesting. Do they have E85?
I don't know. I know they have methanol and gasoline, and you might be able to mix your own.
Ooh. Yeah, you know what, JB? I'm telling you, even if you don't have one mounted in your car, you should have one in your pit. I'm telling you, you can get a good deal on Amazon on an Amerex 10-pound extinguisher. Seriously, like $70. If nothing else, have that. If nothing else. All right. You guys have any other questions? We're going to wrap it up here in just a minute. Yeah, Mopar Man has a small, I guess that's a 2.5 pounder. Yeah, it's really a good idea to have an extinguisher of some kind.
Yeah, 100%. And like I said, I seen one pretty much burn the carburetor clean off of it.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing. If you have a small fire that you could put out like that with a fire extinguisher, how bad are you going to feel watching it eat up your carburetors? Then it eats up your wiring. Then it eats up the hoses. Then it burns a paint job off the bottom of the hood. And just keeps going and going and going because you didn't have a fire extinguisher. Yeah, I bet that Dart does use the fuel. He can get them free from work. Well, let me tell you, one thing about this event I really want you guys to help us do. Help us put on a safe event. Okay? An event with no fighting, no acting stupid, a family-friendly event. Let's be safe. Let's not have any problems. Let's leave it cleaner than we found it. Let's show everybody what kind of first-class event we can put on.
Yeah. I think it sounds like a good time.
Yes, we'll have a great time. We're going to have a great time. All right, guys, we're going to wrap up. We don't want to wear you out past an hour, but Dallas and I'll be back in a couple of weeks. And then I'll plug that next week on my live. Next week, a week from today, we're going to have Bear Rose Garage and Big Mike's Heating Barn. They're going to be my guests, and we're going to discuss their channels because they were two of the very first. And out there in the cold building stuff, their channels have taken off, and I'd like to have them on live. I want to thank my mods. Andy from Unity Motorsports Garage was here tonight. Bad Tree Productions, Just Mopar Joe, Fubar the Axe. And Fubar, you never know if he's here or not because he's usually lurking, swinging the axe in the background. But I want to thank all of you guys. And I want to thank all of you guys that came out. I mean, we had, probably close to 90 concurrent watching this at any one time. So had a good crowd here tonight. Thanks a bunch. Hopefully this answered some of your questions. If you have more questions and I see them in the comments, I'll save them. If not, ask them on the next live, and we'll see you then. You have anything else, Dallas?
Nothing. This live was really good. It went by pretty quick, and you guys, thanks for coming out and supporting this event. I mean, John and I worked pretty much for about 3 or 4 months before we even did this thing.
Yeah.
Before we announced it, and then it got all sideways. I didn't even know if we were going to do it because I got COVID. But
well, it's been great. It's been great, and we have more cool stuff and surprises yet to come. So, hope you guys turn out. All right, we'll see you guys later.
See you later.
Y'all take care.